All
All
right.
right.
How's it
What's up?
going?
All right. Life is good.
Life is good.
Yeah. What's going on over there?
Not much. It's officially summer. Here we
Yeah.
are.
I know it was hot. Like last week, I think, the week before. It was extremely hot out here.
Yeah,
It was like 101. And I was like, oof. I'm staying inside with the AC blasting.
that's pretty warm. It's so
Yeah.
surprising. It's such an interesting concept to me too because East Coast, especially Maryland, has so much
hmm
water. So
Yeah.
like, of course it's humid. I get that, but like the fact that we're like, I'm within like 11 miles, let's say, from the coast, from the beach,
Yeah.
and it's like much cooler.
Yeah. I
And
know.
you're probably about the same distance from
Yeah. There's some water
water,
like there's some water like right over
but it's
there.
not any cooler. So I
But
don't
it's
know.
not like I don't understand that.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's just like the warmth of the Atlantic Ocean is just so
May-
different than the coolness of
Maybe
the Pacific, maybe. I don't know. But like,
I don't
definitely
know.
doesn't get 101 right
Yeah,
here very often.
I'm not where you are. I know, but
Yeah,
here, like, what is going on? Yeah, it was
right.
it was hot. It was so hot. Like people were building homes, the construction workers, and they left at like 1 o'clock, and I was like, I get it.
Yeah,
I absolutely get it. Yeah,
absolutely.
warm. Yeah, but here we are.
Here we are. Well,
Yeah,
before diving on in, I guess intro, we haven't introed in so long, but
I know. I
everybody,
know.
welcome back to Sip Chat Podcast. We're here.
Yay!
We're season
Woohoo!
3. Took
Season 3.
a couple months, I think, in between here.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, a lot
I'm
going
Brit.
on.
I'm Brittany.
And I'm Sean.
Welcome. Thank you.
Yes, thanks.
But
Thanks for
yeah, so last couple months, what's been happening on your side of things? What have you been up to in that time?
um, just trying to live, uh, trying to stay out the heat,
Yeah.
working out, studying some other stuff, studying some cybersecurity stuff. So yeah, it's pretty good, pretty fun, pretty interesting.
For sure.
Yeah, what
Um,
about you?
I have a weed whacker going by. Can you hear that?
Yes.
Okay, let me close my window. Sometimes it like blocks it out, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, there we go.
Yeah.
Um, Me, oh my gosh, what have I not been up to? I moved in the
Okay.
past two
All right.
months, so
Nice.
that has taken up majority of my time and energy. So
Okay. All right. Moving is always fun to
yeah,
me. Moving is always fun,
no,
especially when you get
is
somewhere
it?
new.
I don't
Right.
know. I feel the opposite. I feel like moving is the most awful, stressful thing in the world.
Really? I don't know. I did it a lot, so you know.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
but I don't move. I don't move anything though, so that's probably the difference.
I mean, yes, I had movers, of course.
Okay.
But as far as like military movement, for
Yeah.
example, did you pack yourself?
No, no, we can't. No, we can't pack anything.
Yeah, they pack everything,
Yeah.
move everything. Do they
They say
unpack?
yes. They have to unpack. They have to
Yeah.
unpack, and they write down everything they put in every box, and
Yeah.
then when they get done, they undo it, and you go down the list and see. So if there's anything missing, broken, anything like that. So yeah, you
Yeah.
can't pack any. You can't pack anything. If you
Yeah.
pack something, they'll unpack it and then pack it again. Yeah,
So I
yes.
think, yeah, all of the stressful parts and the hard parts are taken out for you.
Oh yeah, I'm sitting on the couch like
Yeah.
yeah,
So I think if it's set up that way too, I think those are the like quote unquote fun parts, right? Is the
yeah,
like digging into somewhere new, right? Really
yeah,
just kind of finding your footing and what you like, what you don't like in the new space, you know. So
exactly. Yeah,
I see those
new
parts
places
being the
to eat and
funner
stuff
parts.
too.
What was
Right.
that?
New places to eat.
Oh yeah, new places to eat. I
Right.
have been to like 2 restaurants maybe since I've been
Oh,
here. So I know still nothing, so
oh yeah, yeah,
takes a while.
yeah. Oh, definitely, 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 definitely. You're gonna be there for a while, so you know,
Yeah.
take your time.
So that's what I've been up to.
Okay.
I had movers move me, but the packing and the unpacking is
Oof,
not fun.
oof. I can only imagine. I
you
can
know,
only imagine. All
I
right. So what else besides that?
outside of that, like really, that's been taking up the past month and a half of my life,
Okay. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, not a ton, really, just kind of working, of course,
Hmm.
and trying to find what I like in this area, trying to
Good,
find some new
good.
things, hanging out with some friends, things like
Yeah.
that. But nothing too crazy, honestly.
Okay.
What kind of what kind of hobbies have you been doing? Have we been reading? Have we been working out?
Um, reading, working out, of course, jujitsu, of course. Um, same old, same old. Nothing too different. I'm telling you, if if somebody wanted to poison me slowly, right? Because I eat the same stuff, right? The same stuff, right? I don't like to maneuver out, too much. But yep, just living the dream,
Yeah,
living
love
the
it.
dream. Yeah, I'm trying to go to Top Golf more though. I like Top Golf. I don't know how to. The only golf I know is putt golf, Top Golf. All right, I don't really go on the 18 holes, and
Yeah,
yeah, I don't want to be out there for 9 hours.
yeah. I mean, going to a golf range or a golf course is fun if all you're there to do is drive the golf cart, maybe
Yeah, right.
have a drink.
That'll be good.
Oh,
Mm,
what hole do you want me to take you to? All right, I'm on it.
exactly. Don't don't run anybody over.
I don't need to hit anything. I'm just here to
Right.
play.
Yeah. Yeah. That could be fun too.
Yeah.
So
So yeah, I mean, I'm excited for season 3 that we
yes,
have here. I know
yes,
we have some various fun topics that we want to get into via our list here.
yeah.
So I don't know. Is that something that we shall we still focus on the randomness, the like 1 week prep, pick a random topic and go for it? Should we lay out our agenda for the season up front?
Oof, man. I don't know. Because I think so, we can go both ways because I think one, right, if we let everybody know, hey, this is what we're going to do for the next 3 weeks, right? People can kind of think of their own, uh, experiences as well.
Mhm.
Or we could just do it with the 1 week again. We get 1 week to think about it. Everybody else gets 1 week to think about it, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess our call out for people tuning in, listening, wherever we're streaming, all of the places, right? That
Yes.
I guess we could ask you guys, right?
Yeah.
Like, what topics do you guys want to talk about, right? What
Exactly. Yeah.
topics
Yeah.
do you
Yeah.
guys want to hear?
Yeah.
I
Let us
think
know.
that I think that's a fun experience too.
Yeah.
And maybe we're I think we're open also to like, I don't know, throwing out some guests this season, having people on,
Yeah.
joining into that discussion, right?
Yeah.
So
That'll be good.
I think that'll be fun. I think maybe we'll reach out to some people, we'll reach out to some
Hmm.
of you guys, and then you guys reach out to us. Like if you guys want
Yeah.
to jump on and be part of the discussion or have something you want to talk about and share, like I think
Yeah.
that'd be really fun.
Yeah. That'll be fun. Give us some of your experiences too, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I
So
know everybody has their own experiences with anything. Even if like you and I are talking, I'm like, all right, this is what I remember that happened. There's always three sides of the story, right? Right.
Yeah.
what he said, what she said, and what the truth is. Right? Like listen. I have short term and long term memory loss. I already said it. Sometimes I
Short
forget
term
stuff.
and long term.
Okay. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I forget stuff. So yeah, that'll be fun.
Speaking of things that we remember, let's say, what can you recall just a super funny memory from childhood, teenage, whatever? Like, what's the funniest memory that you have in there somewhere?
Man, I think one of the funniest. This I'm telling you, this is still the reason why I don't eat cheesecake. Okay, so
Okay.
yeah, we're we're at grandma's
Good
house doing.
preface.
Yeah. We were at grandma's house doing something, and I think Myron was there because he was, of course, he's younger, so he's there, and this is in the morning, maybe late morning, early afternoon, and there's some like pot or pans on the stove. So we're just like going something. I think we're in the kitchen for something, and then we kind of like look over and see this little white film kind of stuff, and I'm like, oh man, that looks weird. And Myron takes his finger and just scoops it up and like tastes it, and he's like, oh man, that's so nasty. And Grandma came and she said, who put their hand in my grease? Right? Who put their hand in my grease? And I was like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know anything. And like Myron's over there spitting in the trash can, right? I was like, oh my goodness. So 5, 10 years, 15 years later, I see cheesecake. And everybody's like, oh, this cheesecake is so good. Cheesecake is so good. And I'm, okay, let me see what does it look like. And I look at it, and it looks exactly like the thick grease that
Huh.
was sitting in the pan. And I'm thinking like, oh my goodness, that looks exactly like grease. That's why I never eat cheesecake. And I know people, you need to eat it, you need to eat it, you need to eat it. But that's my story. That's the only reason why I haven't eaten cheesecake,
Hmm.
because it looks like grease that
Yeah.
my licked and was spitting in the trash can. Oh my goodness. It's so nasty, so funny though.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
too funny.
My goodness.
Especially if they were in little pie tin looking things, like ready to be sliced up.
Exactly. Oh, nah, I
Yeah.
can't. Nah, I can't do that. Yeah, that's why. What about you? Something crazier.
Funny memories. I think like it's so interesting because with our brains, right? That like I have so many memories that I look back at now and I'm like, oh my gosh,
Mhm.
that's so funny. But like also in the moment was not funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of those
Yeah.
kind of things.
Yeah.
I think one of the ones that sticks out for me is when we were at I think one of your baseball games, like a
Hmm.
teenage baseball game, probably with like a city league or something,
Yeah.
right? And I did not care about your baseball game, and and I was like, we're gonna go play on the playground.
Yeah.
And so I was playing on the playground. I think I was with maybe Samantha and
Mhm.
my mom. And I went to go on the slide and like did like this like running jump. Like I was like, oh, I'm gonna go really fast, grab onto the pole above the slide and like shoot myself down the slide.
Yeah. Like a
All the
torpedo.
work out of my head, yes, except I didn't get low enough and I banged my forehead
Oh no.
on the rail that
That
I was
little round thing right there.
yes. And I had this giant knot on my head for like a week.
Oh my
And
goodness.
of course, in the moment, I was
Yeah.
screaming, crying,
Screaming bloody murder, right?
awful. But looking back, I'm like, that is so stupid.
Yeah, that's so funny. Oh Yeah, man. A lot of things, right, happen in the moment. It's like, oh, when you think about it, it's kind of like, oh man, well, you survived,
We
right?
survive.
You survived, so
Very
that's good. And
accurate.
I think it's funny how like we can be with our friends, um, and something may happen, or we may get hurt, or something tragic may happen, and a lot of times your friends will say, "Oh my goodness, are you okay? Are you all right?" And you're like, "Oh man, okay, I think I'm good. I think everything's good." And then after, they're probably going to laugh at you, right? They're probably going to laugh at you. I
Probably.
always, I always thought that was funny.
Have you ever had a self inflicted, very bad injury?
Um, mm, no, I don't think so. No car accidents, nothing crazy like that. Nothing wild.
Never shot yourself in the foot or anything?
Never shot myself in the foot. Nothing like that. I got a hangnail one time, but nah, nothing too crazy. I like to be safe. You know,
Mm,
I like to be very, very, very. I probably like fell on my. I probably fell on my head or a couple times doing backflips or something like that, doing something stupid.
yeah.
Not, nothing self inflicted
Hmm.
though.
Hmm.
Yeah, nothing self inflicted.
Yeah.
Punching punching people, yeah, but I got to messed up my little pinky right here. So
My little pinky, too.
yeah, we got two hand
They're
pinkies.
on the same hand, too.
Oh my god, yeah, my pinky's messed up, man.
What happened
Sheesh,
to your
but yeah,
pinky?
yep, nothing wild.
What happened to your pinky? A
Oh
punch?
man, flag football.
Uh,
Uh, I don't condone violence. However, sometimes violence is necessary, right? So I don't, sh- long story short, um, we got into a little altercation at a flag football game,
hmm.
and then punched somebody and messed my little pinky up, you know. But you know, I didn't feel it in the moment, but it's all good. I
Yeah.
pulled it back in, but
Ouch.
what I should have did was go to the hospital so it could be straight. I just kept playing, you know. We just kept playing
Yeah.
football. Yeah.
Right. Mine is from freeze tag when I was like 8.
Oh
Maybe
no.
like 11. But like it like
Yeah.
jammed into somebody's back
Oh
when I was tagging them. So
yeah. That's the
really
worst.
nothing exciting.
A jam is the worst.
Yeah.
That's the finger like a bat. You oh, you probably got it in basketball too. Playing basketball, the
Yeah. Nothing like that, like dislocated like that.
yeah,
Just like random jab.
mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Or your toe on the edge of the bed or
oh
oh
my gosh, my toes. I'm surprised they're not all broken, you know?
oh my god, that's the worst. That that would make people cry. Jamming your pinky toe,
Absolutely.
and hitting your funny bone. Oh,
Yeah. Like, why are those all so painful?
I
It's
know.
absurd.
Like, what is going on here? Not funny whatsoever.
Not
Fun
fun.
hitting your funny hitting your funny bone is not funny whatsoever.
So, similar connection here. Can you recall a situation where you laughed and maybe you should not have laughed?
Absolutely, absolute, absolutely, absolutely. You were there for one of them too. You were there for one of them. Um, okay, so one thing that I always laugh. I don't know why. Like when I was younger, I got like feelings right from eating candy. Um, and they numb it up, but when they start drilling, it doesn't hurt. It tickles a lot. It just like makes everything shake, and I think it's so funny. And all the dentists are like, "Are you all right?" Like I've never heard nobody's ever laughed from getting like a fill on their teeth drilled. And I'm like, I don't know. It just shakes my bones, right? I just always thought that was funny. But that always happens whenever. But the one that you were there for was at grandma's funeral.
Oh my god, why did I know that you were gonna say that?
At grandma's funeral. Oh my god. That was the I would never on a bingo card, you cannot tell me I would not have had a lady looking at me dead in my eyes, speaking in front of a lot of people in church at my dear grandmother's funeral, basically saying, right, long story short, basically saying, uh, I was almost your mother. I was almost, so I'm crying. I'm like, oh my goodness, my grandma's gone. And then she's saying this, and I immediately look up like, is anybody else hearing what's going on? Is this lady basically saying, hey, son, I could have been your mother, okay? And that after the fact, when we got outside, and you immediately came up to me like, who is she talking about? That was so funny. And that was the funniest thing ever. I was like,
Mhm.
oh my God, did she say that in front of everybody? Right? Because I'm like, I know my grandma had another child that we didn't know about. She just kept the child a secret, and the child is 50 something years old right now. We don't know. Like, who is she talking about? So that was very interesting.
Yeah.
Very, very. Your mom came up, she was laughing. She did. Who is she talking about?
You know, like
It's like,
I don't know.
what?
Did
Oh
anybody
yeah.
did anybody follow up with her?
Oh my God, that was crazy. And then right back home, I asked my mom, and she was like, "Oh, you talking about, I don't know her name, Victoria?" And I was
Yeah.
like, "What? What is going on here?
What did she say?
What's going on?" She was like, "Oh, she dated your dad for like 3 minutes," and I was like, "What?" It was so she knew exactly who it was, so it was
That's
so
too
funny.
funny.
Oh my God, yeah, that was wild.
Yeah.
That was very, 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 very wild.
Yeah, I don't think I have outside of that, of course. Like I
Yeah,
don't think I have a I can't recall any moments that like I laughed and it definitely should not have been a laughable moment outside of like,
yeah,
you know, school or
yeah,
church
yeah, yeah.
when like Samantha and I were just like looking at each other from across the room and like making faces at somebody, you know. I feel like that's pretty standard, but
That's
like
that's pretty standard right there. That's pretty standard right there. Oh my goodness. Do not look at, somebody in the wrong situation,
yeah,
right?
right,
Oh my God. It always happens.
right.
Or nothing can be going on. And like you just kind of like look at each other, and you just
And
start.
then you can't stop laughing.
And
And then you
it's
finally
like,
calm down and then you think about it again. And then
yeah,
you start laughing again.
like 15 minutes later, oh my God. Oh yeah, those are always good times
Do
right there.
you think that like your sense of humor has like been the same throughout your life? Or do you think it's
Oh
changed?
man, I think
Came
I've
out of the
all
womb with the same humor.
I think I came out the womb with the same sense of humor.
Uh-huh.
I think I always had. I don't know, because again, um, I kind of like I like people that are. kind of like secretly funny, right? Now, like it's like secret, like they have those like those one liners all the time, and they're you get some people in classes and they're not the funny guy or the funny gal, but they say things and maybe it's something that you experienced or thought about like 2 months ago, and they just said whatever, and then you just start laughing and people are like, what's going on with this guy? I didn't even say anything, right? But yeah, it's just I don't know. It's just like, oh, nothing, nothing, nothing. So
Yeah.
me and my friend, this one dude, Micah, we're in some class. I don't know. I think it was some like AP class because he was smart. Micah was in the. I think if I was in the like 10th grade, no, 11th grade, he might have been in like ninth. I think Mike was like 2 grades under me, and I think that dude was still in my class, so I know he was smart.
Yeah.
Um, remember the Budweiser frogs on them like commercials? So there was these frogs, right? Okay, so there were these frogs, and they would say, I think it was three of them. One would say Bud, one would say Y, and one would say Zer, right? So there's Bud, Y, Zer, and they were on like commercials for like Super Bowls and things like that. Um, we were in class, and I was in the I was in the front. He was in the front. We're in the front, away from the door on the right side, and something happened, and he said, "Bud," and then I said, "Why?" Right, and then people start like kikiing, and he said, "Bud," and I said, "Why?" And then the teacher was like, "Hey, stop all of that." And I was like, "All right." 5 minutes go by. He says, "Bud," and I say, "Why?" And some girl in the back that never says anything, she said, "Zer," and the entire class started laughing. Me and Micah got kicked out. I said, "I didn't do anything. Like that wasn't me that did anything." So just like funny things like that happened. Again, the person that you never think about that would say something funny, those people always make me laugh so much.
Yeah,
Uh,
for sure.
so much. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, I
Yep.
think that's that like relatable humor, right? That like
Hmm.
it's like a if you know, you know kind of
Yeah.
humor, right? Like somebody who like obviously that commercial was probably really popular at that point
Hmm.
in time.
Yeah. At that point,
Even
yeah.
now, if somebody just said that out in the open now, I would be like, I don't get it,
Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about.
and so it's a very like I guess niche or like if you know you know kind of
Yeah.
thing.
You have to be there.
I
Yeah.
do always like that comedy, and I think that's something that I really always lean on, especially
Hmm.
with people that are really close to me, like making that reference in a current situation from a past experience, and then we're always
Yeah.
laughing about it, right? But like the people around us don't necessarily know what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah. They're like, what's wrong with these people?
It's definitely my humor language for sure.
Yeah.
Um, and I think that, like, yeah, when you talk about like that's always your humor style has kind of always been the same. I think that mine has too. Um,
Yeah.
I've always been the most sarcastic person in the room,
Hmm.
but like I do feel like sarcasm was not as appreciated when I was like a teenager, for example.
Yeah.
And like I was a sarcastic person, and
Yeah.
everybody else was not sarcastic people.
Yeah. 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 But it's good, especially when you get those people that are like witty and they understand what's going on. It's
Yeah.
all it's always a good time.
Yeah, I need an intelligent type of humor.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, I need you to be able to be witty because it's like it works because it's smart.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, not like knock knock, like
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So,
true.
as far as humor though, I think that like the humor that has never really like connected with me a
Hmm.
ton is the like slapstick humor.
Oh, like the physical. Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
just I think it's too much sometimes.
I've never gotten behind it. I like watching. I'm like, I'm not
Yeah,
laughing.
yeah. Like is his name Chris Farley? I think it's
Yeah, I think so.
Chris Farley. I think
Yeah,
him and David Spade were in a couple movies together. I think, and everybody they thought it was hilarious, but the whole throwing your body around, doing this, doing that,
yeah,
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 anybody can do that. I like something that's kind of more like low key, funny.
for
Flies
sure.
under the radar with everybody else. Yeah,
Yeah, flies under the radar. Yeah,
yeah,
I love
yeah.
that.
That's the kind of funny I like, right?
Hmm.
Or
Yeah,
just like situational humor too. Yeah,
yeah. I love when I turn on a show and I'm like, it's been 20 seconds and I'm already laughing.
yeah, 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 yeah.
those,
That's the good stuff right there.
those are the best ones for sure.
Yeah.
I guess on that same note, do we think that people, a funny person, thinking about a person that's generally you would describe them as funny,
Okay.
are they born funny or did they learn how to be funny?
Ooh, I listen. I think it's, oh my God. Okay. It has to be like a split because I truly believe when people are witty and kind of sarcastic, I don't think that's taught. I just don't think it's taught. I think it's your surroundings and how you are like growing up. Like I haven't seen anyone that's born and then they're 25 years old. They're not really funny, and then from 25 to 35, they have wit. Their wit just comes out of nowhere, and then they're fun. I've never seen it. It's always this person has always been funny, or they tell jokes that they probably heard. Right? You can tell jokes. You can hear jokes from people. You can write jokes. You can do things like that, and that's how people, okay, I can learn to be funny by telling these jokes. But
Mhm.
wit and sarcasm, perfect timing. That's the best of the best right there.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
I think it's gonna
In
split.
the middle, yeah. Like I do agree. I think that like those like the witty, the sarcasm, the like perfect timing kind of people,
Hmm.
I think that it came from their surroundings, right? Like I'm
Yeah.
a sarcastic person because my mom is a sarcastic person and she was talking to me in
Hmm.
a sarcastic manner when I was 3 years old, you know? Right? Like,
Yeah.
that's how it works, right?
Yeah.
I do think
That's.
that too. That like I don't know that I agree. I don't know that like if I didn't grow up in that environment that like I would
Hmm.
suddenly become a sarcastic person,
Exactly.
a good sarcastic person,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
in my 30s. I think it
Yeah.
would
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
have to already
It's
be there.
yeah. You're born with it. That those people that you're around, how everything. Once you're growing up, I think it just right there. It's either you have it or you don't, or you learn to become funny because of jokes and telling stories and things like that. Yeah,
Yeah. Like
yeah,
it would, I think, crush my soul if someone described me as unfunny.
yeah. Listen, if somebody didn't, say, "Hey, what do you think of this person?" Right, and if you don't say, smart, loving, funny, in whichever order
If
that
funny
is,
is not in top five, I don't want
I'm
it.
I'm they're not talking about me. Okay, they're talking about you. Listen, you got me confused with somebody else.
You have to. You have to.
Yeah, Oh my goodness. Yeah, definitely. Because I don't know. I just don't think I can. Well, could I be an unfunny person? I think I could be an unfunny person, but it would be me just being serious and professional, and I would just be like, all right, whatever. However, there are going to be some things that people say that the wit is just going to like be right there, like, oh, I want to say this, right? It's going to fly out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so born this way, created, kind of
Yeah.
same thing with like past, future, present, humor, talking about movies, talking about just people in general,
Yeah.
memes, social media, right? Like, have we already had our peak in comedy, or are we at a peak now? Or are we peaking in the future?
I, I don't think, let me see. I think from like back in our past, it was like, again, you had to be there, right? It was a lot. There's still a lot of things like that too when it comes to like being with friends and like being with those people that you're with a lot. So um I got a couple friends that we were always like hanging out. A few of us were hanging out, playing basketball in her front yard, right? And her mom loved her grass. And every time the ball would like bounce on her grass, and we would like run out there and get it, she would always be like, "Y'all better get off my grass," right? So that's something like you had to be there, right? You have to be there about that. But when it comes to like social media and what Vine and Instagram and Facebook and memes and reels, I I don't see us as a human race being any funnier than we are now. There's probably some new situations that somebody can find out. You know how people say, "Oh, this is trending," and then everybody does it, right?
Yeah.
Um, Still, I think we're in the funniest time ever of short little quick comedy, because back then we didn't have like instant gratification, right? I couldn't say, oh man, let me send this to Britt real quick, and then send this to her, right? You had to,
Pigeon
back in the day.
finger
Yeah,
it.
right. Exactly. But back in the day you
Yeah.
had to be there, but now it's like ching, 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 I can fire off some funny reels or whatever.
Hmm. Hmm.
But do I think we're going to get funnier in the next 10, 15 years? I think this is the peak right here, because there's some funny people on this earth. There are some
Yeah,
funny.
there are. And I think that
Yeah.
we've hit that peak too, where like things are very unserious,
Hmm.
right? Which I don't mind it. But like
Yeah.
when things are like really bad and rough and scary and crazy
Hmm.
out there, we're just making a joke about it.
True.
It's
I
pretty
couldn't.
funny.
I couldn't hear out of my ear. I had a patch on my eye. These dudes are asking me, "Do I have my cleats?" Okay, that was funny.
Yeah.
Okay, that
Right.
was hilarious.
Right.
Right. So we are very unserious.
Hmm.
Right. Very unserious. You see memes about everything on the news. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Immediately.
Immediately. I mean, speaking of immediately, the thing that was crazy to me, this is not related to the humor of it, but it is kind of funny. But like something crazy happens
Hmm.
yesterday, and then today I turn on Hulu and it's like 2020 special already. Fire yesterday. Here's the breakdown of the fire from
Oh my.
yesterday. And I'm like, how did we film this?
Yeah.
What?
Who was in there with your cameras,
The
getting ready,
whole
getting all this stuff
yeah,
prepared?
the whole Iran situation, right, that we just
Yeah.
had 3 days ago. Literally on Monday last week, I turned on and it was like inside special about Iran, and I'm like, how did we get here?
Instant, right? It's wild.
I've never actually clicked on it and watched it, but like I'm
Yeah.
sure it's not. as detailed and accurate as I'm picturing in my head, but I'm literally picturing like when you watch a documentary and it has the actor that looks like that person,
Right?
like the
Yeah.
whole interview, and I'm like, it can't be that because this happened
No,
yesterday.
it can't. Right. You have to look. They snap so many lookalikes too. It's so funny. It's so funny. Yeah, man.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, everything. We have everything quick. We have everything that's right here,
You
given
really
to us.
do.
Yeah,
So
it's a wild time to be alive.
that is,
But I must say, I thank Christ and I thank Kenneth and Cynthia that I was born when I was born, because I feel like I was born into the best time. I didn't have cell phones. I didn't have computers. I didn't have none of that stuff. I had to go outside, talk to people, play with people on your bike, 5 miles down, playing with your friends from another school, right? Like
uh-huh.
that was the best time. That was the
Yep.
time to be born. Oh my God, I'm so happy. And then now we're evolving into, what we have now. Not saying there's nothing wrong with it, all right? But I'm super
Yeah, it's
glad I was.
different. It's a time, I think today versus 20, 30 years ago, 40
Yeah.
years ago, is the intentionality that has to happen. Like,
Hmm.
you can still do all of the same things today, but you have to actually intentionally be like, I'm going to go and do this, versus
Exactly.
just being like, this is what we do. This is all the only option I have really is to go outside and play, you know?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah,
Whereas now it's like I have 19 different options at my disposal. Which one do I
exactly.
am I going to do?
Right. Which one do I want?
Mm-hmm.
Which one do I want to do? We have way more stuff now, right? Way more. Like, for example, like how many TVs that people have in their home, right? Back in the day, yeah. Some people had TVs, but a lot of people had like one TV.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when Buffalo Wild Wings first came out, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that restaurant has 45 TVs in it."
Right? You can watch
I
everything,
had never
right?
seen that before.
Exactly. Like, sheesh.
There's a
Yeah.
TV in the bathroom.
There's a TV in the bathroom. I can watch the Lakers game while I'm peeing. Right? So it's way different now. But
Yeah,
there's pros and cons about everything. Pros and cons about. I know we talk about, oh, everybody's this phone, we got it, takes your mind. You're on here, you're always on, you're doing this, but it's very important to have. It's not needed, but it's very important to have. You can learn a lot of stuff. You can do a lot of stuff. You can communicate if you're in trouble. You can, right back in the day, if you break down on the side of the road, brother,
absolutely.
you're walking
Yeah,
or you're flagging somebody to help. You're flagging somebody
absolutely.
down.
Funny story. Speaking of that, my mom has told me this was in like the 80s that she,
Hmm.
before cell phones, right? Probably the 70s, I guess, because she was a teenager. But
Hmm.
anyway, that she was following somebody to their house
Yeah.
and started following the wrong Corolla, let's say, for example, and went to somebody else's
Oh no.
and ended up in this place and was like, I don't know where I am. I can't
See?
get a hold of my friend. I don't know
Oh.
what to do.
See? That little gadget helps us out a lot.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So suddenly she was just at some stranger's house, you know?
Yeah. Right? She get out the car like, you definitely don't look like my friend.
Yeah.
Right?
So, yeah, absolutely.
Oh my
Using
goodness. Yeah.
them definitely has changed how we exist in
Yeah.
the world.
True. Very, very helpful.
Mhm.
It can be a distraction. I see so many people driving like this. And I'm like, brother, you're not even trying to hide it. There's a cop, right? Look, The cop, look, I'm driving. The cop's looking at me, look at you, look at me, look at him. Like, please, it's not that important. It's not, and then you're just swerving. I'm like, arrest this dude. Like, come on. Like, please, man, what are you doing?
Yeah.
There's a time and a place. Don't hurt me.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, sheesh, yeah, but hey, times have changed.
They have. They absolutely have.
Time, times have changed. So would you rather? I know people always say, oh, the good old days. Would you go back? Would you want to go back? And you can't change anything. You can't get a lottery ticket. You can't know the numbers. You can't do anything. Would you just change? Would you want to change from now, exactly your age, and go back to the 80s and then right now? Or would you rather just stay where you are, knowing what happened in the past? All right, cool. And
Yeah.
just continue living life here.
It's so hard to kind of make that decision, like I can see both. Like, one, like, no, I love the current time,
Mm-hmm.
right? The
Yeah,
accessibility, the technology, the
yeah,
advancements that we've had, all of those things,
yeah.
um, both technology wise, medically, right? All of those
Mm-hmm.
kinds of things. Um, but I also sometimes, do that, crave that simplicity, right?
Yeah.
That ability, also just the differences in like financial means, right? That like
Mm-hmm.
amount, the amount that you could get on a dollar, the amount that you
Yes.
could get with your income, right? All of
Yeah.
those kinds of things that just look so different. If I was this age in the 80s, right, I'd have a 12-acre property with
Right. Exactly.
with a little farm on it, and it'd
Right.
be like $20, you know.
Exactly.
So I don't know, from
Man.
that aspect I love, but I think, if I had to make a choice, I think that I would prefer to live in my age stage,
Yeah.
time of era that I live
Yeah.
in.
Uh,
Just again, back to the advancement piece, like the advancement of technology, the advancement of medical care,
mhm.
in science world, right? The advancement of
Yeah.
just like women, people of color,
Mhm.
right? All of those kinds of things.
Exactly.
I think I prefer now.
Yeah. 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 That me too. Definitely. Me too. Definitely. I loved it when when I was growing up. It was good. It was fun. It's a good memory to have and say, oh man, I remember when we did this. I remember when we did this. But it's a great time to be alive. A whole lot of wild stuff going on, but it's still a great time to be alive.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah. So
Yeah. So,
definitely.
well, Shawnee, I pulled up our list of topics here, and I'm very much interested in
Here we go.
this all things green situation.
Okay. Yeah, how are we gonna do that one? How are we gonna talk about that one?
I have no idea, but I'm thinking up
Let's
front.
see what
I'm going to
happens.
open it to our listeners here as well.
Yes.
I'll
Yes.
post this also, but like all things green, like whatever that means to you, if you
Yeah.
see something green that you're like, I want to hear you talk about this,
Yeah.
and throw it out there, and I'm going to compile a list, right, of all these different green things, and we'll see how many we
Okay.
can hit in our
Yeah.
next meeting.
I think that'll be good. I'll see. I have to see if I have a green Dodgers hat or something to wear. I'm wearing my Dodgers hat today because uh first episode of the new season, and then from my friend Jay, he won't cuss me out or text me and say, "Hey man, I can't believe you disrespected me by wearing another California team," right?
Yes. Weird.
I'm like, brother, there's more teams. I'm not in California. Just let me, just let me love all the California teams.
Yeah.
Like, no, no, there's only Dodgers and USC.
So
Oh man.
yeah, we'll have to see. I'll compile all of my green things and see what
All
happens.
right. Yeah, we'll definitely see. I got it.
All right, Shawnee. Well, thanks everybody for joining.
All right.
We'll
Thanks.
see
We'll see
you
you
next
guys
week.
next week. All right, Britt, love you. Talk to you later.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.